Newsfirst at 9.
Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your primetime news bulletin. I'm Shane Silva.
And I'm Nicola D'Souza. Let's start off with a look at tonight's headlines.
The headlines on Newsfirst at 9.
Tragic accident claims 8-year-old's life at Ananda College. An albino turtle entrusted to the Dahiwala Zoo on a court order dies. Further investigations into skeletal remains discovered in manor entrusted to the CID. Sports Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage opposes new administrative structure of the International Cricket Council.
Newsfirst at 9.
A student of Ananda College, Colombo, was killed in a tragic accident this morning.
The victim was a grade 3 student of Ananda College.
The accident had occurred this morning while the child was playing with a group of children. The police say that the student had been caught in between a turf roller and the wall of a building at the school.
The group of children had come to the sports ground before school started as practices for the sports meet are taking place. I too went to the ground at about 6:30 this morning. While they were playing and moving equipment around, he was caught in between a piece of equipment and a wall.
Although the boy was rushed to the hospital following the accident, doctors said that he was already dead when he arrived there.
The boy was dead when he was brought in. Although our doctors attempted to revive him, these attempts were not successful. There was no major external harm on the child's body. Thereby, we could not determine the cause of death. We have proposed a post-mortem examination.
Minister of Education Bandula Gunawardena visited the emergency ward of the Lady Ridge Bay Children's Hospital this morning to inquire into the incident.
The medical superintendent and the hospital are examining the child's body. The Education Ministry and the Director of National Schools are conducting a separate inquiry into how this accident occurred. This was not a deliberate action. This boy's death was the result of an accident.
The victim, 8-year-old Senith Vijay Singh, was a resident of Kaduwela. The police media spokesperson said that if the turf roller was being kept at the school illegally, then action can be taken in this regard.
Earlier today, I visited the Dahiwala National Zoo to make inquiries into the incident where one of the albino turtles that was brought to the Dahiwala National Zoo from a turtle conservation sanctuary in Koskoda following a court order had died.
Additional Director of the Dahiwala National Zoo, Dhammika Mal Singh, has said that a post-mortem examination is being carried out to ascertain the cause of death.
Newsfirst was closely following a controversy where an albino turtle was reported missing from a sanctuary in Koskoda, following which a court order was given that the 4 albino turtles in the possession of the owner be brought over to the Dahiwala National Zoo. Now, it was reported that one of the 4 albino turtles that was brought to the zoo from the sanctuary was dead. We arrived at the National Zoo to make inquiries into the matter. Additional Director of the Dahiwala National Zoo, Dhammika Mal Singh, said that the albino turtle had died last night. She said that the deceased turtle had refrained from consuming food for a few days.
From the appearance, there was no any problem, but in that occasion also I told that if there's no any external appearance problem, but there could be many internal problems, internal complications.
Over the past several days, Newsfirst closely followed the controversy regarding the albino turtle that was reported missing from a turtle conservation sanctuary in Koskoda. Police later said that an albino turtle suspected to be the one that was reported missing was found in the turtle conservation sanctuary owner's daughter's residence. When the case was brought before courts ordered that the 4 albino turtles in the possession of the owner be brought to the Dahiwala National Zoo. On the day the turtles were handed over to the zoo, wildlife officials said that the turtles should be protected under special conditions.
If released to its natural habitat, there's a high chance of its life being endangered due to many reasons. One being that until now, it has grown adapting to an artificial design environment with different food from what could be obtained from its natural environment. This is one reason. Another reason is that these species of animals are not usually ones that have a high chance of survival in its natural habitat when considering the survival of the fittest.
We have provided maximum environment we could provide, but that is not the exact environment for the marine turtles because they are ocean animals and their exact environment is the ocean. But we have provided the environment we could provide according to the environment which previously provided by the owners.
We are currently at the Dehiwala National Zoo, where according to zoo officials, the post-mortem examination on the albino turtle that was reported dead is currently being carried out. Now, we were unable to obtain footage of the post-mortem due to the intervention of court. What is the cause of death?
It was just over a month ago that skeletal remains were discovered in Mana, once a town affected by the war.
Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohana said that 39 human skeletons have been unearthed thus far.
He added that investigations will be handed over to the Criminal Investigations Department.
Newsfirst Zulfiq Farzan reports from Mana.
Tirukhedesuram is located 50 meters off the Mana Sankapiti road. A frightful discovery. During the construction work to lay a water supply line on the road, workers came across human skeletal remains. The human skeletal remains were unearthed on the side of the road leading to the Tirukhedesuram Kovil on the 20th of December 2013. Subsequent to the discovery, excavations commenced in close proximity to the Tirukhedesuram Kovil on the A32 road in Mana. The excavation is taking place under the supervision of the Mana District Magistrate and is conducted by the Scene of Crime Office of Mana. When Newsfirst visited the excavation site yesterday, measures were taken to cover more ground. Various views are being expressed over this discovery.
I believe that there was a battle between the military and the LTTE back in 1985. We were living in this area back then. The LTTE was everywhere when the army arrived from Talladi. The Sri Lanka Army and the Indian Army conducted operations until 1990 over here. Some of the displaced people have returned. Some are in India. Some are living in other areas because their lands over here are no more. I received this information via other sources. Since 2009, this area was a high security zone.
2009 வரை உயர் பாதுகாப்பு வலயமாகவே இந்த இடம் இருந்து வருகின்றது.
Skeletons were found. Some of them are dust likes and some of them are full skeleton. So the people, especially those who have lost their people, they are missing in their family, are very particular about this. This to be they suspect that it may be their relative's body. People who have lost their children by disappearing, they wanted to be inquiries to be held regularly and this will be found out where when this was done and now whether males or females or when it was happened, all these things they are very keen to find this, and we don't know what we are to do. I think because it is court is doing it, court will do the proper action.
The judicial medical officer who is undertaking the test to determine the identity of the skeletal remains expressed the following views.
We can proceed to conduct various forms of tests based on the information put forward by the relatives of missing persons. That means DNA tests and to identify persons scientifically. We also need to ascertain the cause of death. We also need to find out the time frame in which they died and when they were buried. We are hoping to look into these facts.
The investigation in respect of this particular incident conducted by the Mana police. However, today the police headquarters decided to hand this particular investigation over to the CID. We have to identify the deceased, the persons, the cause of death in respect of the skeletons. So these are the two questions before us. Therefore, we are seeking forensic support in this connection.
We don't know if this is connected to the army or the LTT. As far as we know, this does not belong to the army and had taken place in the LTT area. Investigations are underway in this regard. After the investigations are over, we will know exactly what this incident is.
This is the Tirukethisram Road in Mana. Over a month ago, during construction work to lay water pipes, workers came across skeletal remains believed to be human. Subsequently, excavations conducted here unearthed several more human skeletal remains. Excavations are continuing to locate and ascertain if there are any more hidden skeletal remains in this area. To whom do these skeletal remains belong to? Only investigations will tell us. For Newsfirst, I'm Zulfik Farzan from Mana.
The police media spokesperson says that the youth who was arrested on charges of breaking into MP Mangala Samaravira's residence and stealing several items has lodged a complaint with police headquarters claiming that he was arrested on false charges.
The communique issued by police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohana this evening notes that the complaint has been referred to the senior DIG of police in the Western Province, requesting him to make inquiries and submit a report. The communique notes that the complainant claims that the items he is accused of stealing were in fact gifts from Mangala Samaravira and that his family life has been destroyed owing to the complaint that was filed against him by a household employee on behalf of the MP. He requests that the law be enforced against MP Mangala Samaravira for these reasons.
The youth, who is a resident of Ratmalana, arrived at the police headquarters last night, accompanied by his lawyers, and lodged a complaint claiming that he was arrested on falsified charges. He has requested the police headquarters to conduct an inquiry and serve justice. I have known Mangala Samaravira for 3 years. He said he would give me everything if I engaged in homosexual relations with him. He said he would get votes for me. In the end, he lodged a false entry against me with the police and had me arrested. I was imprisoned for 16 days and he doesn't even look at me now. Now I have lodged an entry against him at the police headquarters. I need to speak against him now. I need to rise against him. We accompanied Shivan Priyankara to the police headquarters today to lodge a complaint. In truth, we lodged a complaint against the sexual abuse of Shivan Priyankara by Mangala Samaravira. We lodged a complaint with all information with the police headquarters. We hope that the police will conduct a fair inquiry into the harm caused to him and will take the appropriate measures. The youth was arrested on the 31st of December last year and remanded following a complaint that he had broken into the residence of MP Mangala Samaravira and stolen several items. Appearing on behalf of the youth in court on the 13th of this month, President's Counsel Hemantha Varnakula Surya said that Samaravira had used the youth for homosexual activity and had then leveled false charges against him. The President's Counsel also informed court that the items his client is alleged to have stolen were in fact gifts from Mangala Samaravira. The President's Counsel also submitted an affidavit from the suspect's wife to court. The youth was subsequently released on bail. This case is to be taken up again next week.
The
senior DIG of police in charge of the Western Province has been ordered to conduct inquiries with regard to this complaint. This inquiry will commence in the near future. We will continue to investigate this matter. If it is proven that the employee at the household in question had lodged a complaint falsely, portraying that the individual is a thief, and if it is proven that the items were indeed gifted to him, then we expect to initiate legal action.